Hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. So, I know I said we were going to catch up on some voicemails, but this is just too timely, too good. And I figure let me get this out earlier today. Tonight I'll be finishing off my packing for North Texas RPG Con. Early flight in the AM. Wasn't my plan, but Delta rescheduled. So, Rice is for sale. Now, I will forgive my audience if you don't know what Risus is, but Risus is one of the earlier free RPGs predating even the OGL. When I came back to gaming, it was one of those systems that was like, oh, you got to check it out. And listen, it's inspirational. It's 4 pages, the core rules, and they are available for free, and you should check it out. So, why would you want to buy a system that is available for free? Why would you want to buy the rights to it? Well, we're going to skip through this a little bit and highlight some stuff. So, Risus has done amazing things. I'm reading from the blog, by the way, rolltop-indigo.blogspot.com. So, Risus has done amazing things for a tiny, free tabletop RPG. It's been translated into nearly 20 languages. It has a fan club with nearly 1,800 paid memberships. The gateway to acquiring the Risus Companion, one of the best books I've ever written, but you can get the Companion on drive-thru. It is basically $10 in PDF. So keep that in mind. That means that as the publisher, you're making $6.50 per sale. We'll get back to that in a moment. Sales of Risus tiles are not earth-shattering by any publishing standard. All right. Now, this is where it becomes interesting. Even on a tiny scale of independent tabletop RPGs, it can best be described as healthy. Well, what would healthy be for indie tabletop RPGs? But it's been steady and steadily growing. For a long time, a single sale a week defined the average performance of the Risus Companion. But over the last few years, that's doubled. All right, so yes, technically it's doubled from 1 to 2. So whereas before you were making $6.50 a week from the Risus Companion, now you're making $13.50 a week, potentially. Okay, but over the last few years, it's doubled and seems to be still on the rise. Risus fans show a consistent desire for more material, more examples of what Risus can do. A return to hard copy options. It's a time of opportunity for Risus to grow. And I'd love to be the one to grow it, but I can't. It's not entirely about my health issues, which are health sucks and is degrading. But the author says he can still design, playtest, and write. It's not a lack of connection. It's just that I'm the wrong designer and the wrong publisher for Risus in this modern day. Plus, my wife and I need the cash. All right. So, we already know it's not making money, right? We know the money it brings in is minimal. So, he'd like to find Risus a new publishing house to call home. And he's accepting considering offers for the sale of the entire Risus library. All copyrights, trademarks, and digital assets for the current published versions included, along with some archive material from earlier versions and editions. Whether you want to bring Risus 3rd edition to the world or just maintain the current edition while publishing new worlds and adventures for it, if you're an RPG publisher who would like to call Risus your own, that can happen today. I don't know what the licensing deals are for Risus, but my understanding is pretty much a lot of people publish stuff for it anyway. So I don't know what owning the title would be. Assets for the sale include Risus the Anything RPG. Let's see. It's 4 pages, and it's already had 25,000 customers on drive-thru, and over the last 5 years. And in just 8 months at itch.io, it's had 4,000 downloads. so it reaches a respectably wide niche. A quick Google of the word Risus along with RPG to separate it from other uses of the term will provide a tour of some of the broader internet presence. Note that in addition to the PDF, Risus provides alternate PDFs for booklet pamphlet printing, as well as EPUB and another formats. But again, the core rules are free, and I love free. Listen, I'm the one that wrote Swords with Relight. Frog got even put down for free in print. You can grab it for free in PDF. I think free is a great gateway into the community. A Kringle in Time, a holiday-themed campaign adventure module, sold for $15 in PDF. It's a bit too niche to be a great seller, with about 400 total sales over its publication history. Okay, Ring of Thieves, a solitaire pick-a-path style fantasy adventure for Risus. I believe that the PDF, though, is free. I might be wrong. The Risus Companion. Risus Campaign Character Sheet Pack. Slimes in Blossom Grove. A pandemic freebie. Toast of the Town. Another freebie. The Risus RPG Twitter account, because it's got 326 followers from 141 total tweets. Okay. I'm not gonna. I don't do Twitter. It doesn't sound all that impressive. Assorted promotional items. Sales include all rights to files for assorted digital material used for promotion and swag sales. Swag currently sold at Redbubble. All right. So it doesn't seem like you're getting an awful lot that's going to make you money. Could you make money off this? Could you monetize this? Yeah. But it's going to be, I think, a lot of work. But hey, you see that little thing up on the screen? Bonus liabilities. Part of the sale is adopting responsibilities related to a languishing, half-fulfilled Kickstarter from several years ago to produce some free Risus adventure scenarios in PDF form. Specifically, the Kickstarter provided enough funding to produce approximately 80 pages of adventure material, including handouts, pre-gens, etc., and only 40 pages or so have been published in the form of the deluxe showcase module that is Toast in the Town. This means the public are still owed 4 additional free modules, which should average about 10 pages each. In addition, approximately 50 higher tier backers are entitled to a print-on-demand softcover collecting all 5 adventures. And some are entitled to sets of custom dice with little stick dude faces where the one should be. An inexpensive custom item from Chessex. I will provide you with the master graphics. And a few are entitled to random piece of original art from one of the modules. Finally, Risus fandom has been promised a new edition of the Risus Companion. This could be a very minor liability. The current companion could be spruced up to present edition compatibility in a matter of hours and published almost as is. Or it could be a major undertaking with new material as you like. If you're thinking of publishing a 3rd edition of Risus itself, you may want to make it compatible with that. There must be a new companion, but what that means is up to you. Depending on your own standards for design and playtest, how much you pay your writers and production people, the total cost of eliminating the liability should run somewhere in the range of $300 to $3,000. And it could be completed in just a few weeks. All right. Now, not for nothing, and I'm going to point this out. If you could do it for a little $300 and complete it in a few short weeks, I suspect Ross would have done this already. I suspect that there are other reasons why it hasn't been done. There are 2 special backer tiers promising unique physical items from my own collection. And I will fulfill these personally immediately upon Risus's sale, instead of waiting for the entire Kickstarter to resolve. Assistance, I volunteer the labor necessary to produce new PDFs for all currently published titles with my own legal claims amended and replaced by yours, and my own Cumberland logo removed and replaced with the mark of your choice and design. With your ownership of all these publication masters, you can make or commission any further changes you desire. I will also direct existing Cumberland subdomains to the URL of your choice for at least the next year, and for as much longer as I can maintain them without incurring personal cost or inconvenience while you arrange for your own Rice's web presence. So, there's also intangibles, which what the community has made. Make me an offer. Drop me a line at Rises at cumberlandgames.com with your offer and a general summary of your plans for Rises. I will seriously consider any sincere offer from an RPG publisher with good intentions. Include a PDF or two of your published items so I can get a sense of where you're at in terms of production style. Feel free to ask more detailed or probing questions about the past performance of Rice titles, or my projections for future revenue, the overall size and scope of the global fandom, or anything else you'd like to know. But questions unaccompanied by an offer will be given the lowest priority. So, you can't say, well, here's my offer, but I need to know the rest of the stuff. Or, well, okay, I'll take your offer, and here's the truth. That doesn't make any sense. If I wanted to, I'm not saying I do, okay, but if I wanted to make an offer on Rises, I have a number of questions that I'd like fucking answered. And I'd like the answer to be, why haven't you completed these outstanding Kickstarter obligations? How much money was raised by the Kickstarter? Where did that money go to? Why? Okay? Listen. We talk about Kickstarters. We talk about liabilities. Let's look at two. Okay? I'm going to bring up Memorial Tomb. Memorial Tomb took forever. And what happened? Trollord has stepped in. Why did Trollord step in? Because they didn't have liabilities they had to take on. Because the monies were still there. So it's Trollord stepping in, and they're basically putting in man hours, but they don't have to put in dollars. Okay? The money is still there. Now, City State of the Inventable Overlord. Why is that one going to go basically, what's the phrase? Tits up? Why is that one going to be, spread eagle dead on the plane? Because simply the money is gone. There's no money. So it needs somebody who can come in and literally take on the obligations, in addition to buying out Bob. He wants money, I'm sure, for the Kickstarter, and he wants somebody to take on the obligation. I have it on good authority that the obligations on City State will take somewhere between 30 and 40,000 to clear out. Now, we're saying here, well, you can get these obligations done for between $300 and $3,000. That doesn't make any sense. How can, well, if you do it this way, it'll be 300, or if you do it this way, it'll be 3,000. That's a bit of a conundrum for me there. So, again, Risus is one of those systems that when I came back to the hobby was really pushed, and I remember reading a lot on blogs about it, and hey, it seems like a great system. But I don't know necessarily why you would want to buy a system from a publisher with potentially $3,000 or more in obligations. There's something that doesn't sound 100% right. Now, it could be too that Mr. Ross has burned out, right? He's no longer, it happens to everybody or many people in whatever industry they're in. And if he's burned out, I understand it and I respect it. But it doesn't mean, I was just checking something there that would make it even smaller. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be fulfilling your obligations. I would think that the obligation should be filled before trying to sell this off. Because if, say, I was like, all right, I value the system at $3,000, and you're telling me that there's a $3,000 liability, I'll take on, and I'm not, this isn't an offer, but it's a hypothetical. I will take on the obligations if I get all the rights. There's my $3,000 offer wiped out by your $3,000 debt obligation. I suspect he's hoping that some huge fan of Risus is going to go, oh my God, I got an opportunity to buy Risus. I offer $20,000. Yes, yes. It ain't there. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry. So, there you go, folks. If you want to buy an RPG, here is your opportunity. Tomorrow, at this time, I will be settling into Dallas. So, early flight tomorrow. Wish us well. We are still in the midst of the world of the pandemic. I will be masked at the airport and masked on the airplane. It's going to be fun. I'll make sure I eat and drink often to keep that mask coming up and down. I am fully immunized, by the way, as is Rach. So, I am not giving you advice on what you should be doing with your own health. All right? Immunization or not, that's a choice you have to make. That's not a choice anybody can make for you. But all I ask is you use your common sense to keep yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends healthy and safe. Be safe, be well, God bless. Knock on wood. I'll be back again tomorrow, but next time I should say, from North Texas RPG Con, Dallas, Fort Worth. All right, folks. Later.